Good evening, Tallahassee. Thanks for joining us on this Friday evening. It's currently Friday, January 29, 2016. I'm student meteorologist Jordan Frazier.
And I'm student meteorologist Andreas Rondon.
And it was a beautiful morning this morning, don't you say?
It was a very cold morning. It started off very cold.
It did. Enough for like a jacket, but then it warmed up.
Yes.
Really warm. It's absolutely gorgeous today.
Oh, you can see, you couldn't see any cloud in the sky.
Nope, not at all. We did have the first FSU alerts this morning around 10 o'clock.
They weren't anything serious. It was all tests.
And they were testing about tornado warnings. I looked outside. There's not a chance that there was ever tornadoes. So it was a perfect day to do an alert test just for that, so you wouldn't freak out any students or parents either. So just perfect.
And also, all you sun worshippers, awesome day for you guys to go outside because that's all there was outside, nothing but sun. And you know what? I guess I should put on some sunscreen on my head. Don't want to get sunburned up there.
Yeah, you had a lot of people outside today studying. I saw a lot of people with their dogs out on Landis, throwing frisbees. It was a gorgeous sight.
Yeah,
gorgeous day too.
You know, I wish I could go out on Landis, but I have too much work to do. I'm always stuck inside the library. But man, I was looking outside and it was looking beautiful.
Why not go outside and study then?
There you go. There you go. Problem solved.
That's one way to look at it.
So, but it's going to continue on for the weekend. So
absolutely wonderful. For now, why don't we take an overview out with Casey? Tell us what's going on right.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, we're seeing nice conditions around here at this hour. We do see 68 in Tallahassee, 66 Quincy, 68 in Wilma, mid-upper 60s for most of our counties. Down to the southwest, a little cooler, though. Apalachicola, 62. And even in some of our eastern counties, we do see Perry, but Asta pretty cool as well in those mid-60s. Now, as we go ahead and take a look at what we saw this morning, well, it was relatively cool around here. We were seeing nippy temperatures, 34 in Tallahassee, 38 in Perry, 36 by Asta, mid-30s were the story around here. It was cool getting up this morning, going to classes here on campus. Now, broadening the view out to the southeast and the tri-state area, we do see that it's relatively clear around Tallahassee. Again, nice conditions around, and that'll be the story here for the next couple of days. Picture perfect weather really is what we'll be tracking over the next couple of days here. But for tonight, we do see 38 degrees. It will be mostly clear around. That evening will be nice. There's winds 5 miles an hour, not too big of a factor, just making for nice conditions. It will be a little bit cool, but tomorrow will make up for that as we see those temperatures rising toward the 60s. It'll be great. We're talking about that. Matt will be talking about that with me. Our basketball game forecast here in a little bit in our sports weather segment. Shane will be talking about impending weather from the west as well. And again, that great weekend. Again, we're watching that system. And now we'll be tracking some rain start to make its way closer toward us midweek. But right now, I'll go ahead and take it back over to Jordan and Andres.
Thank you, Casey. That was a good overview. Yes, and you know what? I'm going to go into a little bit of history. Okay. Today, actually, in my meteorological computation class, we're learning how to do Fortran, right? Okay. So we had a program today that we took about 38 years worth of meteorological data, and we had to find the lowest and the highest sea level pressures for Tallahassee during that time.
Yeah, okay.
Well, the lowest sea level pressure happened back in 17th of March, 1983, with a sea level pressure of 992.
Wow, that must not have been some very nice weather that day.
No, not at all. It was 1.5 inches of rain fell.
Wow, that's a lot.
But on the contrary,
okay,
we also experienced the high was at 10. The high pressure was at 1037 back in January 3rd of 2008, so that was awesome.
That was pretty recently,
Beautiful
actually.
Day. Very recently. Beautiful day.
Beautiful day, just like today.
Yeah.
How about we take it out to Shane with a local? Tell us how much of a beautiful day it was.
If you weren't sure it was a beautiful day, here's a picture to prove it from the FSU Weather STEM cam on the Pensacola Street garage. You can see the stadium right there with those construction cranes over the south end zone under cloudless skies. Right now we've got partly cloudy conditions on campus. It's 68 degrees outside right now, and that humidity is very low, 28%. That's what I like to call chapstick weather because it's very dry out there right now. And it's high and dry. The high pressure is keeping it clear here in the Tallahassee region. Not a cloud in sight today, and I must say that was wonderful news. Sunny skies, you could see the smiles on everyone's faces, and temperatures climbed up to very pleasant afternoon highs. We started off a little chilly though, 34 degrees in Tallahassee, 36 in Bainbridge, 40 degrees in Apalachicola along the coast. but we have since warmed up to that, and now we're starting to cool off just a little bit. 68 degrees in Tallahassee, just dropped to 67 in Monticello, and 70 along the coast down there in St. Mark's. So it's sitting very pretty across the Tallahassee region right now as the sun is going down, maybe just enough time to go out and appreciate those last rays of sunshine. But if you missed it today, don't worry. It's going to be a beautiful weekend, picture perfect to take your studying outside and get some work done and enjoy the beautiful weather. Now the winds right now behind the cold front that moved through earlier this week, they're all coming out of the north and pushing in some cooler air, but now they're starting to weaken. That Arctic flow from the north is starting to dissipate a little bit, and we've got warmer conditions in store for the weekend. Warmer and sunnier, which is beautiful, wonderful news for everyone. A little gusty along the coast there in Apalachicola, coming in at 17 miles per hour. Now, the next 36 hours in Tallahassee, we're not going to see much of anything. Let me put this into motion, but you wouldn't be able to tell because there are no clouds, and there's not going to be any clouds for the duration of this forecast period. Tomorrow afternoon, sunny conditions, just a few flickers of clouds that might start to move into the region later on Sunday in advance of some rain in the early days of next week. But until we get to that point, it's going to be beautiful, perfect conditions to get outside, head down to the shore, or if you're in studying, take your studying outside, like I said. As for tonight, we're going to cool down to 38 degrees tomorrow morning. It's going to be mostly clear. It's going to be a beautiful evening, so take a light jacket if you head out and about tonight with winds coming out of the west at 5 miles per hour. Gorgeous time for an evening stroll. Look at the stars out there. It's going to be beautiful. 68 degrees tomorrow in Tallahassee, mostly sunny conditions. Like the graphic says, picture perfect. And then moving into the week ahead, we've got similar conditions throughout the weekend with a slight chance of rain early next week with highs in the mid to upper 70s. Now let's throw it to Matt for a look around the southeast.
Thank you, Shane. That's a gorgeous looking 7-day, especially this weekend. It's going to be beautiful out there. Thanks for that report of the local. Really reiterating what you just said, here's the radar. I don't really need to stand anywhere in particular here because we're really not talking about much of anything on the radar right now, except for just to the very north of here, near parts of West Virginia and up into Maine and Pennsylvania. We're seeing a little bit of snowfall. Down here, though, in the southeast, we're not seeing anything. This is the first time this map has been clear in a very long time, and that's really a gorgeous thing, great time to get on outside, especially those temperatures all across the Sunshine State, finally living up to its name. I know the past few days, it's been really hectic, especially down parts of Central and South Florida with all that severe weather that's been coming through. Now it's really looking gorgeous out there. 60s all the way through down into the Keys. Usually this time of year, we might see a little bit of mid-70s, even maybe squeaking out a few 80s down in the Keys, but really gorgeous weather, 66 degrees, 62 in Miami, even parts here to the west. New Orleans got up to 71 degrees today and then 75 down in Shreveport. Now look at the wind speeds. They're pretty variable here across the southeast as well. Tupelo's down at 0, mixing that with New Orleans here at 10. Tallahassee, we're one of the stronger areas with the wind right now, but a couple wind speeds are producing some hazardous conditions down in South Florida with some rip currents. So please watch out for the rip currents if you're heading into the water across any parts of Florida really over this weekend. Relative humidity, how that feels like, temperature feels like in the air, 28%. Really, there's not much humidity at all, and that can be reiterated here with the water vapor. You see this orange indicating this really dry air that's starting to sink in over our area. This is in the upper levels of the atmosphere. That'll start to mix down a little bit, making it feel really nice outside. A little bit more moisture down to the southern half of the peninsula as well. Futurecast radar, we put this into motion as many times as we want. We're really not seeing much of anything, just a few pop-up showers across the Gulf. Now this is our models just picking up all of that humidity and moisture over what is the bathtub, that's the Gulf of Mexico. Maybe a couple showers or two down in Pensacola, but really not talking about much at all. Tonight's forecast, 30s here across most of the southeast, even down to the 50s, low 50s, might squeak out a 40-degree mark in parts of South Florida, maybe out west near Weston, you might see some 40-degree points. Tomorrow's forecast, another gorgeous day. Look at that. Sun's all around, 70s here across the entire Sunshine State. Now we're going to send it back to Andres and Jordan to take us through another weather story.
Thanks so much, Matt. We're actually going to talk about, even though it's been a very nice day out today and for most of the weekend, how nice does it sound to go ice skating?
It sounds very nice, but for me it sounds painful because I fall a lot.
I do too, I will admit to that.
But I still enjoy it.
Yeah. Actually, right now at the center of Tallahassee, formerly known as the Tallahassee Mall, you can go ice skating tonight, Friday night, from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. and it's $10. It includes skate rentals. So you can go out there with your family, go skating. It's open air, but it's covered though, but I wouldn't worry too much about rain of any kind, especially for this weekend.
Oh no, especially with the beautiful weather we're having. It's going to be amazing. So you should have a nice little breeze coming in.
We're going to call this Florida ice because it's not actual ice. It's more like a plastic wax that you can skate over, but it still gets the idea that you're ice skating.
Yeah, it gives the idea that you're ice skating, but you know what? We can still enjoy it.
Yes, and it's going to continue on until February 12th, so...
Well, we can go ahead and do that.
But got some fun weekends ahead.
But for right now, we'll pass it to Shane for a look at the National.
If you guys want to do some skating on actual ice, I don't think that the Southeast is the region to go to, but there are several other parts of the country that are seeing some wintry precipitation, so we're going to focus our gaze in on them. Once again, the Southeast is clear as can be, as Matt and I were expounding on earlier in the show, but now we're going to turn our gaze way off to the northwest here in the Seattle region, over Washington and Portland, Oregon, into the Boise, Idaho region, and into Billings, Montana. We've got lots of mountain snow up there in the Rockies as well as the Sierra Nevada, and that's causing a bit of a travel headache across the Rocky Mountain region right now, as far south as central Idaho and into Salt Lake City as well, approaching the Denver region as we speak. So here's a graphic that's indicating how much snowfall we expect to see over the next several hours. We've got numbers on here to indicate the amount of snowfall that we expect to accumulate at these regions. And as I put this into motion, we see a lot of snow accumulate there. We're talking more than 7, maybe 8 inches in Salt Lake City. The numbers continue to climb as we move through the weekend. More than an inch forecast in Denver, 5 inches out there in Minneapolis. So these are very impressive numbers, and especially up there in the Rocky Mountain region, travel could be very hazardous, especially if you're moving around by car out there. Airports could also be having some trouble too with the large amount of snowfall out there. I'm going to show you the similar graphic again, but zoomed in on the Oregon region, as well as Montana and Idaho. You can see these vibrant shades of magenta and purple that pop up on the map here, focusing in on this mountain chain here just to the north of Salt Lake City, as well as these mountains to the west of Denver, where the shades of purple are getting so faint you almost begin to not be able to see them again. Lots of snowfall in that region, and we're advising everyone to be very cautious as we move through the weekend. It could be a very dangerous situation up there in the Rocky Mountains. But back home in the southeast, we're not looking at too much of anything over Tallahassee. A few rain showers over the Alabama region in the later hours of Sunday, but not much going on, at least not for the time being, because on Tuesday, there is a moderate chance of severe weather. We're talking isolated tornadoes, wind, and hail are all viable threats with this, and we'll continue to bring you information on Monday's show for this threat, which impacts North Alabama and Mississippi, as well as parts of western Tennessee. But let's look at the national forecast for tonight. We've got very cold temperatures from Billings to Minneapolis, sub-freezing temperatures up there. As for the southeast, 38 here in Tallahassee, 48 in New Orleans, warming up to the 70s across lots of the south tomorrow, but only up into the 40s up there in Minneapolis. And now to bring it back home, here's Andres with a local.
Thank you, Shane. And as we look around into the local right now, it is currently 68 here in Tallahassee. The dew point's at 34 degrees. The humidity's at 28%. It is beautiful outside. It feels amazing out here. And the winds are out of the west at 12 miles per hour. It just feels really good out here, guys. And that's not just for us. That's for the whole Big Bend region area. Look at this. 62 in Apalachicola, 68 in Carabel. It's just very uniform across the area. It feels very good today. I hope everybody's taking advantage of this. Go outside, because look at the radar. There's nothing on this radar. It's not broken. I'm going to walk over here just to prove it. There's nothing over here. There's nothing where I'm at right now. There's nothing over here to the west. It's just beautiful today. It's very beautiful. I hope you guys just go out and enjoy this, because if we zoom out, we can see how pretty much the whole southeast is under sun. That's it. Except for a little bit here in the southern part of Florida. They have a little bit of cloud coverage from that system that passed by earlier. That gave us all this rain yesterday. But for right now, it is amazing out here. And we have another radar. Look at this. There's nothing going on. I don't think there's ever a speck of rain here in Florida. They had some clouds on there, but no rain. So it's just an amazing day today. I hope you guys were able to go outside and enjoy this, because, you know, days like these, it's just they're so beautiful. hope you're just able to go outside. And the current setup for right now, as you can see right here, we have our big friend, Big Blue H, down here in the Gulf, and it's keeping all these clouds away from us. But we do have a little bit of a cold front north of us, north of Montgomery, Alabama, that's that's going to be moving on towards the east. It is not going to come down towards our way and affect us, but it wouldn't do any damage to us anyways. I guess you could say that way, because there's no moisture. It's just completely dry. There's no moisture for it to play with, so it wouldn't do anything to us. But either way, it's going to move off to the east, and we're just going to continue for the next couple of days throughout the weekend. It's going to be gorgeous. But for tonight, it's going to be 38 degrees. It's going to get a little bit chilly again. It's going to be mostly clear. Nice evening. Winds out of the west at 5 miles per hour. And if we look ahead, folks, look at this. Saturday, Sunday, beautiful, beautiful days. Please go out and enjoy. If you don't have much homework, I would take advantage. Go out to the Res, go down to St. Mark's, go down to the lighthouse down there. Here you can see the stars very well down here. The whole Milky Way galaxy. My friend Matt Reagan told me earlier you can see it pretty well over there. And also, but if we look into Tuesday, we can see that this cold front we're going to have another cold front that's going to come through, and it's going to bring some rain and clouds. But before right now, for the next 2 days, it's going to be beautiful, because on Tuesday, once the rain does get over here, it's going to be 76 on Tuesday, 70 on Wednesday, and you can see the showers for the percentage on Tuesday is going to be 60, on Wednesday it's going to be 40%. It's just going to be gorgeous until then, and then once that passes on by, we should be expecting some more beautiful days for the next weekend in case you want to do something. But for right now, we're going to pass it off to Shane for a solo desk.
Thanks, Andres. Yes, I'm here to talk about a weather history event, a very recent one that some of us at FSU were very excited about. 2 years ago, we had a winter weather event on campus, a very rare event to be sure, and one that got us very excited here at FSU Weather. There was a forecast that called for a chance of either snow, sleet, freezing rain, or possibly just rain. And due to the threatening weather, campus was closed for the day, and the night before, here at FSU Weather, we did a very special show where we taped our show again live at 11, which is normally just a broadcast recording. Here we have a picture I took 2 years ago of an icicle. You don't get the full scope of it from this picture, but that icicle was 8 inches long. It was very remarkable. Found that on a dumpster near Frazier. But now we're going to bring it back to Florida, where it's a little bit warmer right now, with Jordan.
Thanks so much, Shane. It looks absolutely fantastic, as Andres was saying earlier. Sun around most of the southeast. We do have a couple clouds here in just south of West Palm Beach and just north of Miami. No precipitation whatsoever associated with that, but that was because of the front that came by earlier, which brought us that rain yesterday. Current temperatures, though, sitting absolutely gorgeous. 68 right now in Tallahassee, Mariana at 66, and Crestview at 67, so mid-60s throughout most of the Big Bend region. I'm going to zoom it out so we can see the current conditions throughout most of the region. 68 here in Tallahassee, 66 Orlando, 61 Tampa. The cold spot actually being Fort Myers at 59 degrees, but gorgeous throughout the entire Sunshine State. The Sunshine State is the perfect nickname for exactly what is happening right now. Today you woke up, it was a bit chilly, 34 degrees in Tallahassee, so you probably woke up with a light jacket, but you tore it off by the end of the day because it was warmed up absolutely gorgeous. 54 in Fort Myers, and 59 in West Palm Beach. Current relative humidity, it has been a little bit dry lately, but not so dry that you need to pull out the chapstick or lotion for your hands. 32% humidity in Orlando, 44 in Tampa, and Tallahassee at 28%. So absolutely gorgeous, and you do have a little bit more moisture towards the south where they do have that cloud cover. As that system moved through yesterday, we did have a pickup in the winds. Tallahassee, 12-mile-an-hour winds from the west, and Jacksonville up to 17 miles an hour from the west. Orlando and Tampa, 15 and 10 respectively. In Miami right now, actually not a whole lot of winds from there, about 5 miles per hour, but absolutely gorgeous day. Maybe not so much to blow away your homework, but a nice breeze for a nice day. Futurecast radar, there's not going to be much to talk about. I'm going to put this into motion here so you can see there's not much rain, a couple little spotty showers out in the Gulf and up into the Atlantic. But by Saturday afternoon, the clouds won't start coming around. You do have a couple rain coming in around Sunday morning in Pensacola, but by Sunday afternoon, just a little bit spotty shower up near the western part of the Panhandle, but not much you should worry about, at least for our region, for the next couple of days. Tonight's forecast, absolutely going to be a little bit chilly, so if you are going to head out tonight, be sure to grab that light jacket with you. 38 in Tallahassee, 38 in Jacksonville, and 45 in Pensacola. The warm spot being Key West at 59 degrees and Miami at about 53, so that is actually a little bit colder for their region. Tomorrow's forecast, Sunshine State says it all. Sun everywhere. 71 in Tallahassee, 69 in Jacksonville. As you head out even farther south, it's not going to warm up a whole lot either. 72 in Fort Myers and 74 in Miami. The hot spot is going to be 74. Absolutely gorgeous outside, and it's going to continue like that over the next couple of days. But for now, we're going to send it off to Casey and Matt with our look at our sports weather.
Thanks so much, Jordan. Yeah, we want to get into sports weather here. We'll see exactly what's going on in the weather situation in the sports world today. Yeah, absolutely. Getting right into things here to what will happen. We'll go ahead and kind of just start things off with an overview of the situation there with that. And we'll be seeing some of those sports headlines that we expect here over the next couple of days in the sports world.
A very busy sports world over the next really couple weeks. Some of the biggest games we've got going on. But let's start with this weekend because it's a big weekend for the NFL. Of course, you've got the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. Big game there. Some former players coordinating these teams and some of the better players in the league participating in that. New York Giants quarterback Eli Manning as well as the former FSU quarterback Jameis Winston as well.
Yeah, Jameis Winston making an appearance at the Pro Bowl this year. Gorgeous weather expected over there in Hawaii, too.
Yes, it'd be nice. Beautiful conditions there. We'll get into more details on that in a few minutes. We also have some other key games going on in men's basketball, women's basketball, which I'll talk about as well. But what I want to do is start off with an overview of the weather situation across the nation. Starting off with that view, we do see 68 in Tallahassee. Temperatures much cooler to the north for sporting events there.
Yeah, we've got a lot of warm weather starting to file into the United States, especially in the kind of the south central area. You can really see that. Dallas up to 76 degrees in the middle of January. And this is going to be reflected on some of the sporting events that we have coming up over the next couple weeks.
Yeah, now on the radar, though, we do see that the conditions, well, our radar's getting an update there, and you do see the north part of the country, there's quite a bit of wintry weather going on.
Yeah, a little bit of snowfall. Really, if you're heading out skiing, if there's any ski sports going on up in parts of Idaho, they're really seeing the snowfall come down in the mountains right now.
Yes, it'd be nice to go skiing up there. Maybe headed out there just to see what's going on in preparation before the Broncos doing the playing in the Super Bowl next week in Santa Clara, California. That could be intriguing as well. Now, what I want to do is look at those temperatures in Hawaii in advance of the Pro Bowl. Just great conditions.
We're flying all the way out to Hawaii right now. Really, I wish I was out there. Look at that. It's gorgeous. 80s, heading out on the beach, probably a nice breeze. It's really something that all those players could really enjoy being selected into the Pro Bowl, especially our own Jameis Winston.
Yeah, exactly. And the forecast for that game, we do see at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 o'clock Hawaii time. Great conditions, mostly clear, 82 degrees. A little bit breezy, but shouldn't play too big of a factor. Maybe in the kicking game just a bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Jumping ahead to the next graphic here. We've got, of course, FSU versus Clemson, men's basketball. This is a big game. And, of course, look at that. Free bacon for the first 2,000 students. So head on out there at noon tomorrow for tip-off. Going to be a gorgeous day to walk over to the Civic Center.
Yeah, great conditions. Just go out and enjoy your Knowles, as the weather should be nice for that outside and inside. Hopefully, the Knowles can get a big victory over Clemson. They're doing pretty well in ACC play right now, only 2 losses. So it'd be nice to get a win against them. We lost earlier in the year up in Clemson, actually in Greenville against them at a court just away from their campus. And in terms of that women's basketball forecast, just real quick, I'll get it in here. We'll see exactly what's going on with that. 69 degrees. Go out and support the women's basketball team as well.
All right, now we're going to be sending it out for that beautiful last current look on campus with Margaret.
Got up 68 degrees today. The dew point down here, 34 degrees. Values that low, or humidity's down at 28%. So definitely make sure you've got chapstick or some other sort of lip balm around if you get dry lips, because it is really dry. And on top of these nice temperatures, we have a really nice light wind out of the west at 12 miles an hour, enough to make it feel a little bit cooler than it is, but not so much that it's absolutely blustery, that maybe if you have long hair, tie it back a little bit. Local temperatures around the area, 68 here in Tallahassee, mid-60s really around the entire area. 66 in Monticello, 64 in Quincy, and not too much difference anywhere else that you go. Make it up to 70 in St. Mark's or down to 62 in Apalachicola. But this pretty consistent shade of yellow really says the whole story. It's the same temperature pretty much everywhere. And these humidities that are really worth pointing out because they're exceptionally low, again, except down at the coast where we do have water vapor coming in off the water. But the rest of the area, we see these very dry conditions. And while that does make it feel nice for us when we go out and about, it does make for very dry weather, so any dry skin, and sometimes that can be a little bit of an issue. Satellite and radar, though, it is absolutely gorgeous across the entire southeast. A little bit of cloud cover down around the south parts, Miami and Key West. No rain associated with that, so it's just a little bit of shade that's providing. The rest of the south, though, beautiful. As you look ahead to the weekend, we're not seeing much here around Tallahassee and the surrounding areas. Really, for all day Saturday and going into Sunday again, it's not broken. This timestamp is still moving. We just have a wonderful weekend in store for you until Sunday evening when those clouds start moving back. And even then, not too bad, because that rain isn't arriving until later, or until we get into next week on Tuesday. Tomorrow morning, 38 degrees, similar to what we saw today. A little bit cool, so do have that light jacket if you're going out, if you're going to that basketball game tomorrow and trying to get that free bacon. Definitely bring a light jacket if you don't like temperatures that are around 40 degrees. But be ready to take it off too, because when we get into the afternoon, getting up to 68 degrees here and around the entire area, really, we'll be seeing those mid to upper 60s. And over the next 7 days, an absolutely gorgeous weekend to get out and about during. And then we got some rain chances coming in midweek next week, but they'll bring some cooler temperatures in behind them. What do you guys think about that?
Thank you, Margaret. That looks fantastic. I'm really excited. We finally made it to Friday. I feel like this week's gone on forever.
Yeah, it's finally over. Get to enjoy those basketball games this weekend. Enjoy some free food as well. It should be exciting. Hopefully we can get 2 big Knoll victories this weekend and improve our NCAA tournament standing in both women's and men's basketball.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Let's look at that official FSU weather forecast here. There's the 7-day. It's looking gorgeous. Saturday and Sunday. We've talked about it all show long. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. A little bit cool at night, but Tuesday, Wednesday, you know, we're talking about possibility of some severe weather up, not here in Florida, but parts of Alabama, Mississippi, and Arkansas.
Yeah, we'll watch that closely for those folks, but you do see those temperatures really nice Tuesday and Monday as well before that cooling trend does occur with that system coming through, bringing in a little bit below average type conditions around.
Yep, and you can always catch us, even on the off days this weekend, on Facebook and Twitter, everything /FSU Weather. You can watch us anytime at livestream.com/FSU Weather. And we've got an Instagram as well. We haven't posted there in a while, but if you send us pictures, we can post there, and that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be nice to be able to display those. Hope everybody has a great weekend, but for now, I'm Casey Cloud.
And I'm Matt Reagan. We will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone.